Good evening and welcome to tonight's Rethink Education Family Support webinar. My name is Amber Garvey and I'm the Content Development Lead for Rethink Education, and I'm super happy to have you here tonight. We have 2 more webinars after tonight's session, so be sure and register for the coming sessions. But tonight is a really special treat. We have Vicki Blankenship, who's going to share her passion for fostering a rich reading environment at home. So I'm going to turn things over to Vicki and let her introduce herself. Enjoy tonight's webinar.
Thank you, Amber. I'm Vicki Blankenship, the Western Region Professional Development Coordinator for Rethink Education. I live in Marion with my husband, Burton, and my son, Avery, who is a junior in high school. I've served in education in North Carolina for 28 years and have spent most of that time in education as a school library media coordinator. Deepak Sharma, the Professional Development Coordinator for the North Central Region, will be joining me tonight. Deepak will be monitoring the chat this evening to provide assistance and answer any questions you may have as we go through the presentation. Let's take a look at what we're going to be going over this evening. First, we would like to take time to go over a few webinar basics and meeting etiquette. Then we will discuss how to foster a reading-rich environment in your home. And at the end of our session, we will provide time for questions if needed. Let's go over our meeting norms. These are the expectations we have in order to make this a successful session. Be present and actively engage in activities and discussions. Be respectful of others. Place questions in the chat box. Remain muted during the presentation. And we will do our very best to start on time and end on time. We are using the Zoom platform for our sessions, and I want to make sure that you can locate the chat bar, since this is how you will participate in tonight's session. Please look for the chat icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen. This is how you can enter questions or comments during tonight's session. You can leave the to field at everyone if you'd like to make comments and answer questions. If you would like to ask a question and don't want to include everyone, please select Deepak Sharma from the drop-down menu. At times, you may be asked to respond with a reaction symbol. To access reactions, click on the reactions button at the bottom of your screen and choose your desired reaction. Now that we have a better understanding of the chat and the reaction features in Zoom, we will continue with our presentation. So now let's talk about how to foster a reading-rich environment at home. First, you will want to make reading aloud a priority. Read aloud several times during the day. Start the day at breakfast with a read aloud, and then spend a few minutes at lunch with a story. Transition time at your house is also a great time for a read aloud. Older children who are reading well can read aloud to you while you cook dinner. And of course, it is important to make the bedtime read aloud a treasured part of your day. This is something you and your child will remember for years to come. In the chat, let us know what is a favorite read aloud in your family. There's some great classics and there's some great new titles that you might love to read aloud. We've got a couple coming in the chat. Hand, fingers, thumb. Harry Potter series, that's always a great one. It's a Dr. Seuss book, lots of those. And we have someone who has a grandson who loves everything about sharks and dinosaurs. That's also one of my favorites. Thank you all so much. So next, we will want to create a family library if we're going to foster that reading-rich environment at home. Build a family library full of great books for your children. If you have babies and toddlers, you will want to start with board books and a few picture books. And then as your children get older and become preschoolers, you may want to add more picture books. Make sure your family library includes traditional favorites, but also make sure that you're including new books that have recently been published. Your public library or your child's school library can often provide an update of the most popular new books. For your school-age children, make sure to include picture books, easy readers, early chapter books, and advanced chapter books in your family's library. Once your child is a solid reader, help them follow their interests as they choose books. Accessibility is key to encouraging your child to read. Make sure books are within reach by placing books in baskets throughout your house. Make sure there are books in the family room, kitchen, and the child's bedroom. Books can also be kept in the car. One of the best things for your child to do in the car is to look at or read a book. Many children use the car as an opportunity to play video games or watch movies. Reverse that trend with your child and let car time become book time. Also, keep a stash of books in the diaper bag or tote bag to take along with you on outings. In the chat, let us know where you have created a library in your house. It might just be a basket of books or a small bookshelf. Is that place in the family room, the kitchen, your child's bedroom or playroom? Or maybe you have a couple of locations in your house where you've created a library. In the den on shelves, a floor-to-ceiling bookcase in the living room. That's fabulous. Thank you all so much. Book baskets in the playroom. Lots of books in the office. Have to have something to entertain while you try to get some work done. So that's also a great place for some books. Next, as we continue to think about that reading-rich environment at home, we want to think about visiting libraries both in person and remotely. Make an effort to visit your public library and school library regularly to choose books and to see what new books have been published. When you visit, you may want to take advantage of a weekly story time. Many public libraries now offer a story time on weekends. We're also seeing an increased number of public libraries offering remote options for story time. Make sure to check with your local library for a programming schedule. Also, stay on the lookout for summer reading programs and other fun activities, such as plays and author events offered by your library. As a former school librarian, please also remember that your school librarian is there to help you and serve you and your family. Please take time to utilize your school librarian's expertise. They would love to recommend books for your child based on an interest and also on those classroom units of study. Just simply send an email or a note to your school librarian, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help. If you're unable to visit the library in person, make sure you check out the Soraa app. Soraa is a free and easy way to read books from your public library's digital collection. Most North Carolina students will have access to the collection via their public school student identification number. Check with your local public library for more information. In the chat, let us know what a favorite library event you and your family have attended. There's always some great programming at the public library. Themed read aloud events, that's always fun. You can dress up, come in costumes, That's always something that is fun. Meet the author. That is one of my very favorite events. Is I love to meet authors and find out their motivation for writing a book. And I think it's also a great way to show your child that they can be an author or a writer too. Reading on the lawn, that sounds like lots of fun. Thank you all for your responses. We're going to talk now about keeping it cozy, how to keep that reading rich environment at home. Make reading fun by keeping it cozy. Provide plenty of cozy places to read throughout your house, such as a beanbag or a rocking chair. Children love the idea of lining the floor of a closet with blankets and pillows and making a reading nook. Give them a flashlight and a few books, and most will read for quite a while. Of course, it's always tons of fun to create a fort or tent with blankets and pillows and then curl up inside with a great book. Making reading fun, appealing, and comforting is essential for creating that reading-rich environment in your home. In the chat, let us know if you've created a cozy reading nook. And if you have, let us know a favorite item that you might have in that reading nook. It might be a nook that's in your house permanently, or it might be something that you pull out with those blankets and create tents on the weekends, or when there's a snow day. That's always a great time to do it. So does your child or your family have a favorite item in that cozy nook? Warm blankets, a book lamp, a reading tent. There are some pre-made reading tents that you can purchase. Flashlights. Oh, that is so much fun. And that really does provide that extra fun element for our kids. So now we're going to focus on writing, because writing can lead to reading and reading leads to writing. So we're going to talk about creating a writing box for your family. Make your own books. Making your own books is a fun way to get your child reading. Fill a tub with a variety of writing supplies such as colored pencils, thin markers, and crayons. Glitter pens or some other fun pen will also excite your young writers. Make sure to also have on hand a variety of paper in different colors and sizes. Make sure to have both lined and unlined paper. Children love to make their own books, and you can help them by stapling the pages together or punching holes in the paper and then adding paper rings. Include in your tub some cool alphabet stamps and stickers, as these are also fun for your child. We all have our favorite writing instruments. Do you or your child have a favorite writing instrument that makes writing fun? I have a great unicorn pencil at home that I love. Chalk. Oh, that's a good one. Gel pens. Lots of teachers love gel pens, and so do kids. So make sure you find some of those great writing utensils that will make writing fun. Now we're going to move into something that will excite the kids. Providing literacy-related toys, games, and puzzles for your children is another way to foster that reading-rich environment at home. A great way to bring literacy into every aspect of your family's life is to provide literacy-related toys, games, and puzzles. These will reinforce and highlight that reading is fun and enjoyable. There are many products available to choose from, and having your child help you select the toys or games they are interested in is a great way to encourage your child to interact with the game later. Listed on the slide are several examples of readily available products A couple of my favorites are the Learning Resources Sight Word SWAT, Scrabble Junior, and Melissa and Doug's See and Spell. In the chat, share with us a favorite learning game, puzzle, or toy at your house, or that you've purchased for a niece or nephew, a grandchild. Scrabble, again, that's a favorite. Magnetic letters and magnetic words, that's great for that refrigerator. That can be lots of fun and really build some reading and writing skills. Next, we want to think about being a reading example for our child, because that is definitely a way that we can foster that reading-rich environment in our homes. Let your child see you read. Make sure that your child sees you read for pleasure. You should read every day, and your books should be visible to your children. Include your child in ways you use reading and writing every day. For example, have your child help you write a grocery list, or send an email or letter to a relative or friend. Finally, during each season of the year, display books in your house that celebrate the season. The family coffee table is a great way and a great place to display those books. So right now, you might have out your St. Patrick's Day books or your books about spring. So that is a great way to really foster that reading-rich environment. And then finally, we want to make literacy the norm in your house. Creating a literacy-rich environment in your home helps your child see literacy as a norm in your family, just like good nutrition, cleanliness, kindness, or anything else in your family that they can count on. A literacy-rich home will support any reading curriculum taught at school and is a powerful strategy to support struggling readers. Children who are surrounded by literacy are far, far more likely to develop into passionate, successful readers. And isn't that what we all want for our children? So those were just a few simple suggestions on how to foster a reading-rich environment in your home. We want to provide you with some resources from Rethink Education. And Deepak is going to post a link to the presentation in the chat. And you can also see the link in the box on the bottom of the slide. At the first link, you will find the calendar for upcoming webinars. Some of the topics are already selected, and some of the topics will be driven by feedback from these sessions. We want to provide informative and relative information that North Carolina families need. Please consider registering for our other webinars, and we only have 2 more this school year. So please consider registering for those as well. The second link is the family support page on our website. On this page, you will find publications specific for supporting your children at home with learning. At the bottom of this web page is an exciting resource that is continually growing. As part of Rethink Education, we will be creating content for students in grades kindergarten through 8th grade. Along with the content, our designers are developing support guides for parents and guardians to help your child with content in math, English language arts, science, and social studies. The development of these resources is ongoing, and we will provide links to them as they are complete. We do really appreciate you attending this evening's webinar. We would like to know how helpful this session was for you. Please complete the short feedback form for us so that we can ensure we are creating helpful content for parents. We will have that link to the presentation in the chat so that you will have a copy of our questions and resources. We will also send a follow-up email with links to this presentation as well as to the feedback form. We will stay on the call in case any of you have any specific questions. Thank you again for coming to our Rethink Education parent webinar on creating a reading rich environment at home.